Welcome back, crew, to Boats vs. Haulover, where Man and Machine typically take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet in Miami, but as you can tell, we're not in Miami. It's the start of summer, so it's that time of year again where we get to go back up to the Point Pleasant Canal to see how our captains fare. And here we go, the first round of our contest and the first trip back up the Point Pleasant Canal this year. Gonna be an interesting one to see how the captains do as they try and take on the canal. And here in the opening round, the boats are gonna toss a bayliner in the ring to see how she fares. And man, you can definitely tell it's start of summer and them Jersey boys are out there and at it again as this crew starts to make their way through the canal. They are having a little too much fun, but on top of having a little too much fun, they're going a little too fast. This is supposed to be a no-wake zone, and here they're actually going to pass somebody, which is pretty frowned upon here in the canal. And unfortunately for this crew, because they're doing that, even though they're making it out, I'm going to go ahead and give them the loss because they know better than doing that. And that's going to bring us to the second round of our competition with the canal up 1-0, but the boats are going to go ahead and toss a Sea Hunt Game Fish into the ring to see if it can get the boats back on the board. And here we go, another crew out there in Jersey, just out to have a good time. And this crew recognizes the camera, gives a little wavy shout out, and honestly looks like they're having about as much fun as anybody can possibly have in a no-wake zone. This crew's keeping it up, keeping it real. They've got the boat going just fast enough to keep that bow above the waves and will easily take a win for the boats here in the second round. That's going to bring us to a 1-1 tie as we move into the third round of our contest. And here in the third round, the boats are going to toss a Boston Whaler in the ring to try and see if they can get it done. And what is our guy doing? Unbelievable. Now, you know, we only got a few rules on BVH. And one, if you wind up stuffing the bow, you take the L. Two, if you got kids in the bow of the boat with no life jackets on, well, that's a loss also. Our guy, I'm not sure if he's a kid or not, but I'll tell you what, that's still a dangerous move in a very rough area of the canal. If he falls overboard here, it's going to be a struggle to try and get him back into the boat. And just because he pulled that move off, I'm going to go ahead and give this crew the loss on that one as well. I'm just going to count that as a kid with no life jacket on. And that's going to bring us to the fourth round of our contest. The canal has a 2-1 lead, and here in the fourth round, the boats are going to toss another Boston Whaler in the ring. I'll tell you what, this has been a popular one. We've only been filming for a few days up at the canal, and the Whalers have been out in force up here. It's been for sure Whaler gang showing out, and I'll tell you what, this crew looks pretty solid. It's been kind of a rough day here on the canal. We're getting a lot of current, and the waves are kind of stacking up, but the traffic's still a little slow as it's only the start of summer, so we don't have all that wake really stirring it up at its max capacity. But overall, this crew looks pretty good coming through the canal, and this Whaler will wind up taking a win for the boats. And that's going to bring us back as we're all tied up at 2 apiece. Who's going to wind up taking the win in this episode? Will it be the boats or the canal? And I know I've given the canal some favors today, so she's going to really have to take the win in the 5th round if she wants to take the win. And here we go, another Whaler stepping in the ring to do bad things. Stuffed it. She got soaked. The bow went under. It was a light stuffing, but again, we don't rank the stuffings. If that bow gets a little bit under and they take a little water over the front, that's all she wrote. And our crew, unfortunately, is going to wind up taking a loss for the boats. And even though it was kind of a cheap one, the canal winds up taking the win. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we've got the Miami Boat Ramps channel that focuses on all the hilarity that happens in South Florida. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.